Okay, so this video is just to help you brush back up on your power skills. So before we dive into these problems, which we're going to cruise through pretty quickly, I just want to remind you of all the rules. So when you add the numbers in the front and you don't touch the powers. When you multiply, you add the powers and multiply the numbers in the front. So like 2x times 5x squared would be 10x cubed. When you divide, you subtract and put your leftover wherever you had more to begin with. Negative exponents get moved, whether they are on the bottom or on the top. And anything to the 0 power is 1. Not x to the 1, but just a plain old 1. Okay, so that's all the power rules. So now let's dive in to some problems. And using the rules. All right, so this is multiplication. So I'm going to do 7 times 3 times -1. And then I'm multiplying, so I'm going to add my powers. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So remember that one right there has a power of a 1, so just don't overlook it. Again, I'm going to multiply my numbers, and I'm going to add my powers. So x to the 3rd and y to the 4th. And if I'm going too fast, pause it so you can digest the problem before you move on. For this one, I'm going to do 2 into 16 is 8, and 8 times 3 is 24. I would really prefer it if you didn't need a calculator to do that. So just take the bottom number, divide it up, and then multiply back. X to the 3rd, y to the 7th. This is a -5 squared with a power on the outside, so that's -5 times -5, which is a positive 25. And when you have a power to a power, like if I had x squared cubed, then I multiply my exponents. So this is going to be x to the 2 because it's 1 times 2, and y to the 6 because it's 3 times 2. So for this one, it's going to be -3 to the 3rd. So that's -3 times -3 times -3. So that's going to be a -27. And then a power to a power, again, I'll multiply, so x to the 6 and y to the 12th. This one, I need to handle this first, so this guy's just going to come down. This is -2 cubed, that's going to be a -8. And then power to a power, I multiply, so 1 times 3 is 3. And then I can multiply and add my powers. Okay, number 7. So again, a power to a power, I multiply. So to multiply 2/5 times 3, I'm just going to put the 3 over 1 and multiply straight across. So that gives me 6/5. This one, I need to do -2 cubed, so that's -8. X to the 6, because it's a power to a power. -1 to the 4th is a positive 1. Y to the 4th. So -8, x to the 6, y to the 4th. Okay, so when you do fractions to a power, just cube the top and cube the bottom. So -2 cubed is a -8, and 3 cubed is a 27. So just do them separately. X to the, all right, when it's a power to a power, I'll multiply. There we go. This one, I'm going to go ahead and multiply those two. But then I need to do this to the 4th power, so that would be a positive 1. X to the 4th, y to the 8th. So 3x to the 6th, y to the 10th. And again, I'm just using those rules. This one's gonna hang out. This one I need to square. So 9x to the 8th, y squared. Again, a power to a power, you multiply. And now I can multiply them all together. 3 goes into 9 3 times, and 3 times 1 is 3. Times the -2 is a -6. X to the 9th, y to the 3rd. And again, I'm going fast, so feel free to pause it and go back if you need to. All right, so now we start dividing. So 5 and 10, that's going to reduce to a 2 on the bottom, x to the third on the bottom, and a y squared on the top. And number 13, I'm going to kick that negative up to the top because I think negatives on the bottom are weird. 12 and 15, I can reduce by 3. That's going to give me 4/5. All right, this is going to move to the top and become positive. So I'm going to combine it with the a to the third. That's going to make it a to the 5th. These two are going to flip-flop because they're both negative. So b to the 1 is going to go to the bottom. B to the second is going to go to the top. So then I'll reduce that. That's going to give me a b to the 1 on the top. I'm following my rules on this one. Power to a power, I multiply. So that's x to the negative 21 and y to the 9th. But then this is a negative exponent. So y to the 9th is going to stay put, and x to the 21 is going to move to the bottom. So when you're done, all negative exponents have to move to the bottom. So for number 15, again, power to a power, I multiply. So that's x to the negative 3 and r to the positive 6, which means only have to move that one. And the r to the 6 stays down there, and I put a 1 on top. All right, talked about this one. Anything to a 0 power is 1, so literally that whole denominator goes to a 1, and I'm left with 5x to the 4th. You can put it over 1 if it makes you feel better. Number 17, I can't do anything with the 3 and the 4. The x's are going to flip-flop. The x to the second is going to go to the top, and the x to the 4th is going to go to the bottom. So that's going to leave me with an x squared on the bottom. And the y's are also going to flip because they're both negative. And that's going to leave me with y to the 4th on the top. All right, let's see. This one is going to cube the bottom. So negative 2 cubed is a negative 8. And when you have a power to a power, you multiply. I'm going to kick that negative up to the top. 6 and 8 reduces to 3/4. And that's moving to the top. Going to combine with that one and give me x to the 7th, because when you multiply, you add your powers. Number 19, power to a power, I multiply. So that's x to the 8th, y to the 4th, z to the negative 6. Now he's the only one that has to get moved. There you go. This one, I'm going to go ahead and multiply straight across. So that's going to give me 36x negative 2 y negative 1 over 3x y cubed. Then I'm going to reduce. That's going to give me a 12 on the top. This guy's moving down. That's going to make it x cubed. And this guy's moving down. That's going to make him y to the 4th. So just a very quick review of your power rules. And I know that was a lot, and it's a lot of rules, and I know it was fast, and it's probably been a while since you've kind of had your hands on these rules. So again, make yourself a cheat sheet of all the rules. If you multiply, you add your powers. If you have a power to a power, you multiply. If you divide, you subtract. Anything to the 0 power is 1. And if it's a negative exponent, you move it. And it becomes positive. So make that, study it, go back over these, whatever you need to do. But these are things that you need to be very comfortable with.